Good morning, and welcome to Catherine's Garden. This is mid-July, July 14th, and this is what the garden looks like right now. The hosta flowers have bloomed and they are out and open, and they're just fluttering around. It almost looks like there are just little winged things, butterflies, flying around above the hosta leaves. I like how the hosta leaves are surrounding and the hosta flowers are surrounding this angel trumpet tree. And here on the deck, I've added cushions. And I also have added some new plantings. These two heucheras in the container, increasing my container garden. If you have been following me, you know that I planted strawberries in these containers. And I have something to show you. Here in this container, I'm starting to develop strawberries. Not me, but the plant. I will be eating strawberries real soon. So I purchased these heucheras from proven winners. It's called Dulce Spearmint. I love the coloring, I love the flowers, and I believe that they're going to be a beautiful addition to my garden. But in the meantime, I have them here on the deck. Everything is just growing, spreading, and expanding. I love these white petunias. And the pots are just spilling over with such wonderful flower power and eye color. Candy. Within the garden, many things are coming alive for this time of the year. Over here, the dahlia that I planted has opened up. It is facing the sun. There are two different types of dahlia plants that I planted. This was one, and here is the other. Also, the zinnia plants that I put here, they've grown so quickly, and I know that they're going to flower. At first I thought that they were not going to come up, but they're about to show up. I also see an okra plant in this bed as well that I seeded from Baker Creek. So there are great things to come in this bed. But in the meantime, the annual impatiens are spreading and taking over. They're actually touching one another. And that's where we want to go. That's the direction that we want to take this. Making this bed really beautiful. And when I see this particular flower on the dahlia, isn't that beautiful? I purchased these dahlia bulbs from Costco, and I will later on show you a video. I'll create a video on how this all came about. So as more blooms open up with the coloring here, it's going to be very, very pretty. Really standing out and bringing some more life and color to the garden. In this bed, which has become one of my most favorite beds, is my cabbage, celery, peppers, and a whole host of other things. I have been actually harvesting the celery, but I want to let you see what it looks like inside. Do you see the celery stalks? I've been putting them in my juicy. In my smoothie. And also, I've been using the cabbage leaves. But what I am so thankful for is to see how the peppers, I believe these are jalapeno peppers, are growing. The herb fennel is now flowering. The fennel seeds will be very useful in cooking. But in the meantime, I just like the beauty of the fennel seeds with the purple perilla. I love the coloring. Let me show you. Now, isn't that pretty? Along with the allium bulb that's drying, that would make a beautiful floral arrangement. These coleus continue to grow, and they are just blending in so well with the impatiens here. With the heat and the rain, they have definitely decided to expand and become so beautiful here, getting big and thick. I remember when I planted them, they were just these small little seedlings. And now look at the beauty here. I think the name is Fancy Fair. Now what I will continue to do is to pinch off these flower stalks, flower heads. And as I do that, what will happen is that it will continue to bush out. Let me do that to this one. Just go right in there, pinch, and toss. Very pretty. The back vegetable garden is doing very well. Let's go on in and see what's happening. Here is a squash plant, summer squash. It's flowering, and you know what that means? That means that soon I will have a lot of squash to pick. Let's take a look at these tomatoes. These are grape tomatoes. Don't they look like grapes? I think so. And there are clusters on all of the tomatoes. The plants are thriving. I believe that we had a slow start this year because June was so cool and rainy. But this month and right now at this time, it's catching up. Now that was an acorn from the oak trees. This is a zucchini. My eggplants are flowering. And these are tomatoes. These are the beef steak tomatoes. And they love it over here. I'm going to have to find a way to get some more stakes for them, to stake them up, or maybe poles, so that they'll have something to lean on and support them. But in the meantime, they look happy and healthy. Here is another zucchini plant, and it has some flowers. And I'm also getting cucumbers. The cucumbers are starting to find their way up the trellis, the little teepee poles that I've created. And they have flowers. So that means that I'm going to have a lot of cucumbers. I just need to come in and continue to help them to find their way. But as you can see, they have these little tendrils, and the tendrils help to support them. They wrap themselves around them with a little help from me. It's another zucchini plant. And see here, cucumber. So I'm going to have to come back and help them up, train them. And over there we have some lemon balm and a beautiful hosta flower. Here I have nasturtium growing. And they seem happy here, trailing out. as I walk down this path, we can see a lot of things happening and changing. Let's go back there and find out what's happening with those hydrangea plants. Isn't this beautiful here though? It's so cool and relaxing and so wonderful to discover behind this bed. Now, isn't this beautiful? Those fresh hydrangea blossoms. Endless summer. In amongst the hosta flowers. Looks like a bouquet to me. And this is the bridal bouquet. Very nice. Look at how fresh and white those flowers are. It's so beautiful. I just like this. So fresh and white with the flowers. Nice. This arrangement came out very good too. It was my husband's idea. He placed these impatiens. He loves impatiens, by the way. He would plant impatiens all throughout the garden, and I think it's a good idea. This looks really nice. I like this. I don't know if I can go all the way down next year, but I think I'm going to continue to add impatiens next year in this part of the bed too. Maybe this whole section next year. Stilby is ending, and I do have hydrangea blossoms here, but they're facing the wrong way. They're facing the sun. They need to be on this side so I can see them, but they're there. It's just that they're hidden. Last year they were just spilling over in the front. This year, it's not doing that, but I'm not discouraged. What I am happy for is this elegance. It has really found its place here in the garden and its location. It is one of the best plants and such a specimen plant in the garden. But this little bed here is doing well for this year. I planted some more of the perennial geraniums, and they're coming up along the bed here, and here, and here, 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 and here. And then also remember the euonymus that I put here? You know, it has caught. It's a real plant. I'm pulling it, and it's in the ground. Yes. And I'm going to continue to protect them. I think this method worked really well. And this is one of my seedlings from last year that I planted, the hydrangea plant. I transplanted this and this one last year. Remember trying to create my hydrangea hedge? Well, it's coming along. It's just that it may take a few more years. Here's another one. And there's an elegance. I think what I'm going to do is remove this hosta after it's finished flowering, and so that the elegans can have more room to grow. Here is another hydrangea plant. No flowers, but it's growing. And then let me see if I can see the little one? It's still growing. But it's being overtaken by this plant. I don't know what this plant is, but it's definitely overtaking it. And then I continue to have these hydrangea plants here growing and the rhododendron. But look at this. Isn't that pretty? When the flowers fade, then we will cut back the stalks and remove them. But in the meantime, I really like how this looks. Let me turn around the camera so that you can see this back garden. Well, my apple tree is doing very well. Look at my apples. This is one of the blessings of this year, to actually desire and want apples, and to plant the tree and then to have the tree produce these apples. I am so excited about this. It is inspiring me to plant more apples. And then here's my peach tree. So I have a few peaches holding on there. And then in the distance, I have the pear tree, my Asian pear tree. Now this is my angel trumpet tree grouping that I have here. And I used to have a really huge tree like the other one, and it didn't make it over the winter. But what I did was I cut it down and I rooted the cuttings and then planted them in this container, and here is the result of that effort. And look at this. I am going to have flowers soon. Hopefully I will capture it for you, but in the meantime, this is very promising to see the buds. I don't know what to call them. Yeah, buds. And we're going to have some flowers, at least 2 to begin with. And when it gets started flowering, usually it just continues to flower sporadically throughout the growing season. So this is a really great sign. What I need to do is to make sure that I fertilize it and give it, some food so that it will continue to flower, and make sure that I keep it well watered because they love water. And because we've been having a lot of rain, it's made it very easy for these angel trumpet trees to be able to grow at the rate that they've grown. Very nice. I am so pleased with this. Now in this bed here, there's a lot going on. If you look here, you will see this daylily about to open up. I don't remember planting it. I probably put it in there, but finally it's grown or caught itself and now wants to flower this year, which is fine with me. The daylilies are about to open, but they're waning. I think there are like a few more flowers, a few more days. Like for example, on this one, there's 2 more stalks here, or flower buds. So when this opens up today, then we'll have this one and this one, 2 more days here on this. Then I will cut them back, and that will be the end of that. But here the impatiens doing well along with the coleus. And I also planted some cosmos. I've been pinching them back because I don't want them to get too high, but I do like this color. Very pretty, and it's a nice arrangement. This is a begonia, tuberous begonia. It has not flowered yet, but it looks very healthy. I think that it needs a little bit more sun, so I might trade it out for one of the other pots or switch pots. Because this one, and there's my pear tree. Doesn't that look healthy and nice? Yeah, looking good. But look at this. Isn't that fantastic? Yes, this begonia, tuberous begonia, is doing very well. I'm going to pull this off. Wow, it's a good thing I did that because there are more flowers coming up. This is happy right here. So I think what I need to do is maybe switch up so that one can get a little more sun and be able to show up and show out. But I like this arrangement here. So I have the coleus, the pinky impatiens, the sun impatiens. The thing is, the sun impatiens, the flower is just a little bit larger than the regular impatient. I think I planted a potato because that looks like potato to me. And here is the other tuberous begonia plant. Isn't that beautiful? It looks very healthy here, and it's taking up that space. I planted a cleome plant in this bed because I wanted to see how it will do back here. And I think that it's showing up. It looks good. Now in this bed, what you're going to see are the lilies. The oriental lilies come out. Here's a patch here. And throughout this bed you will see them. Here's a patch here. It's oriental lily. And even back here, I think this is the Stella or Stargazer lily. See it opening back there with the bee balm or monada. So placed throughout this bed are the lilies, the oriental lilies. This is their time. I believe that this week we will see more and more of them opening. another patch, a stalk. Ooh, look what I've discovered. It's opening up now. That's so pretty. Have you ever bought yourself a bouquet of flowers and in it were a couple of oriental lilies? And the fragrance just filled your house, that one stem? Soon this garden is going to be perfumed with the smell of lilies. It's a little strong and heady, but it's going to be all right. It's only for a moment in time. I'm also going to have some fancy daylilies opening here. That's nice. It's going to be real pretty here. It's already beautiful. Let me introduce you to my butterfly bush. This is wonderful, and it's created its own design. It looks like a tree butterfly bush, right? But I didn't do anything except knock off some of the bottom leaves. But it developed this one, a main trunk, and became more bushier at the top here. And now they're about to flower and show us their color. I'm very happy for this because it's going to be very beautiful and add some height back here just to add more color. I also have another one that I planted at the same time over there, but it has not. Isn't this beautiful? So here is the other angel trumpet tree, and last time it flowered in September. But hopefully if I give it some fertilizer, it will then decide to flower. But I like the fact that it's looking healthy and upright, and it looks good here. Now doesn't this look like a crown surrounding it? When the flowers die back, what I'm going to do is cut the flower stalks. But you know, I said I need to just give them a chance, let them bloom, let them have their day. The mosquitoes out here are terrible. I think they found me. Now this is my plum tree. I am so proud of this plum tree. Stanley, look at these plums. Prune plums. That's what they are. Now these tomatoes here have decided to actually begin to flower and to form. And look at my bunny. I really like these two hydrangea plants. I don't know why they're that color, but that is a beautiful chartreuse color. And it looks so good with this euonymus, this type of euonymus. I like this right here. pretty. Now I moved some of the cabbages over here, and I think they've settled in. This is one of my apple trees that I bought last year. I don't see any fruiting of them, but I'm thankful that they're still alive and that they're growing. And hopefully I might be able to espaliate them. This one and this one. Grow your own, enjoy your harvest. Tangy green urban apple. We'll see what happens. Now back to these tomatoes. So see, they're growing really well. We're starting to develop the tomato. So I'll have tomatoes soon here. Yeah, let's look at this one here. This is mint, chocolate mint, and this is lemon balm. Lemon balm makes really delicious teas. I think these are the 100s, yeah, tomatoes. And because they're shaped differently, they're more rounded versus the other tomatoes that I have over there, which are great tomatoes. Now this is my potato little patch here, and I'm going to harvest these potatoes soon because it's dying back, and we're going to see what happens. This is my first time ever planting potatoes in the garden, so it'll be interesting to see what I harvest. Here's my other plum tree, and this is the yellow egg plum tree. I only have a few plums on this, maybe 3 or 4, but I'm so happy that it's growing and that it's happy here. My fig tree's doing very well here, and I just need to tie it up, but it's doing very, very well. It's growing, expanding, and I don't know what I'm going to do with it for the fall, but I'll deal with that when the time is right. And just a quick look back here. I planted some pumpkin seeds, and they are now trailing, and also the nasturtiums doing very well, along with the impatiens. They're touching, becoming one in this patch. Very nice. Next year I'm going to plant this up with vegetables, and we'll do more here, but for right now we're just trying to prep the soil and get this area ready for next year's gardening. Now over here in this bed, look at this. This is the native milkweed. The pollinators love this, and it has such a beautiful fragrance. I love the color. I love how it looks in the garden. And let me pull this closer so that you can see. I like how it looks with the daylilies in the garden, and it adds really great color, contrast. And it looks good too with the purple perilla. The mosquitoes are out. Now I finally am seeing some flowers on this hydrangea over here. First I was getting a little discouraged. This is another angel tree. But here you can see the hydrangea flowers starting to form. What I am going to do is take some cuttings from this and start some seedlings because I really love hydrangeas and I want more of them in my garden. Over here, the fern are doing very well. And we're coming up to the other patch of hydrangeas. Look at that. Now that's what I want. That's what I want to see all around the garden. Do you see my zebra grass? I cut it back in the spring, and this is how much it has grown. Look at the leaves. This is why they call it zebra grass. So it's my featured plant for right now in this bed, at least one of them. And later on in the season, it's going to have some beautiful stalks on the top. See how it's moving in the wind? Now this is a beautiful patch right here. That's tick seed, yellow tick seed, sedum, a chrysanthemum, and also purple perilla. And this patch is giving color to the side border. Yeah, last year I added this echinacea. Coneflower plant to the garden. I love how it looks with the purple perilla. This purple perilla is such a great accent and accompanying plant. It seems to just blend so well with all of the plantings that I have. If you notice here, it looks so good here with the yellow and the purple, that kind of brownish yellow purple leaves with this. And then when you swing around, it looks great here with the coneflower as well, and the knockout rose bush. My rose bush is about to reflower again. And here, notice that my burgundy okra gaining leaves. And I even have a watermelon. No, I don't know how it's going to do. And that is one of the brassicas, Brussels sprouts. I just wanted to see how it would grow here in the front, so I decided to plant it there. But look at the texture of these leaves. And the coloring of this beautiful flower. I'm going to step in here because in here I have my watermelon. Now look at that. My watermelon plants are growing really well here. And then over here, I believe that this is my cantaloupe, because I planted a whole lot of cantaloupe seeds here and they're flowering. I'm going to have to get a cage for them, maybe a tomato cage, and allow them to climb up and also support them on the wall. But for right now, I'm going to let them grow and gain some, some strength. But I just wanted to show you my watermelon. And then back in here, I have squash and pumpkins just trailing. I know that this is the butternut squash plant here. And I think that's one back there as well. But they have plenty of room to travel, and they can travel up amongst the shrubs. It's fine with me. But here, I wanted to show you this. This is another hydrangea tree in tree form, and the blossoms are starting to develop. It's really beautiful when they form. They're like beautiful white balls of joy. Well, over here I have my pepper. My peppers are doing so well, my sweet peppers. Check this out. I actually harvested a couple of them and I took it to my son's house. We had fish and he stuffed them in. I love this pansy. Check that color. The pansies seem to be doing okay up here. But check out my sweet peppers. I'm going to have a lot of sweet peppers this year again. I'm excited about that because I just came out and just picked them steadily one after the other and used them in the cooking, juiced some. Now I think this is a sunflower, which I'm going to have to move from here. But I think that's a sunflower. But anyway, here is another pepper plant. Look at that. I'm going to have to keep the other weeds and things away from them so that the snails won't attack them. And make sure I harvest them. Make sure that I'm eating my peppers, not the snails. Here is basil. Growing really well. Well, my watermelon is just trailing. Check this out. The promise of a watermelon. Look at that. here's another one. I'm going to have watermelons. They're growing alongside of the nasturtiums. I also have peppers here. I don't know what these black bugs are, but it seems like they're on my nasturtium plants up here. But I also have my hot peppers here, and I have been harvesting them and enjoying them. I also cut a couple of the jalapeno peppers, and we had them with the fish, the red snapper that my son cooked for us. I cut one yesterday and used it in some cooking as well. And it was delicious. It wasn't hot yet. You know, it wasn't too hot because it's green. But it definitely had a distinct flavor. I believe one of these are the ghost peppers as well. But definitely the jalapenos are doing well on this side with some more watermelon plants. But look at what this looks like. Those nasturtiums took off. I am going to pull them back and maybe pull them out so that the watermelon plants can have room to grow. And I'll be able to monitor the watermelons. Check this out. Isn't this beautiful? My little yellow daylily. And finally, this is the end of the tour. Here we have a hydrangea bush. Bridal bouquet. And doesn't this look like a bouquet? Well, this ends the tour for mid-July. Thank you for watching. Bye.